Competitive players are not gonna like this video. I'm not gonna like this video at all. I wanted to do a video in defense of Nintendo. This is a little bit after the whole big house thing happened where they gave their cease and desist and all that stuff. So hear me out. Yes, I know I am the Nintendo fanboy. You know, I've been a little spoiled by Nintendo over the years. I got to play the GameCube early on in the United States before most people. Nintendo had these things called Cube Clubs, and basically what they were nightclubs set up inside spaces and stuff like that, and they had the Nintendo GameCube playable for a bunch of people by invite only. So they invited me to that early on, and I got to experience it. Played Melee for the first time, absolutely loved it. You know my love for Melee. I'm always talking about it on stream. At one point when I was still doing the acting thing, Nintendo of America was following me on Twitter. So I don't know who manages Twitter, but thanks, I appreciated that. That was nice. You guys don't follow me on Twitter anymore, but that's cool. 2017, Nintendo also invited me to play the Switch early on in January. That was another like invite-only event. And I'm not trying to boast like, oh, Nintendo's looking out for Nintendo, but they have over the years done right by me. So, and yes, I have my gripes with them, as any company, as any fan would with something they care about. I get it. The whole big house thing, they called it off because of they called off the whole Melee portion because Melee was using software, or the big house was using an emulated version of Melee. You know, software roll back the netcode and all that stuff. And I get it. I'm a player. I totally get it. I haven't played that particular version, but I totally get it. I understand why you guys have to do it. This isn't something that's new. Nintendo has done this before. They've done this before with Ocarina of Time 2D. Yes, I say Ocarina instead of Ocarina. Ocarina of Time 2D was a game that I was looking forward to that so much. And what it was a fan-made project where they took Ocarina of Time and recreated it with the same assets used in Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Hence, Ocarina of Time 2D. They gave the developer a cease and desist, and he just abandoned the project. I think he was probably like more than halfway through. That was like a sad thing. Same thing with the big house. You know, Nintendo said, "Hey, cease and desist." I understand why people are mad. Believe me, I totally get it. I wanted to see the whole big house thing too. I wanted to see Ocarina of Time 2D. I totally understand why you guys are mad. I'm there with you. But you need to understand, this is Nintendo. This is their company. They have to protect their IP. They absolutely have to protect their IP. And sometimes that means doing the unpopular thing, making the unpopular call for what's going on. So if it's like another company where they're like, hey, sure, and I don't want to say the other company, I'm not knocking them. They say, hey, sure, do this fan thing and all that stuff. If Nintendo doesn't nip it in the bud, at some point there's going to be a fan remake, a fan game, or whatever it is, and they're going to have these characters that we all know and love, Mario, Luigi, Peach, and all that stuff, probably doing some unfavorable things or being in an unfavorable situation. So now if people would just say, oh well, Nintendo should just go about that, like if Mario has a gun or something, oh well, Nintendo should just go after that project and just shut it down. You can't be biased. You got to do it across the board. You got to do it across the board, because then people are going to feel like Nintendo's picking on them in particular. Don't get me started with the whole Nintendo Ninjas. You know, look into that if you haven't heard about the Nintendo Ninjas. They have to go after each project, whether it's good or bad, whether it's something that's favorable to them or not. And I get it. You got to protect the IP. Look, I do the video game tournaments. I do BIN, best in New York City, and as flattering as it would be if somebody was like, oh, we're going to use your brand, we're going to do this, we're going to create a tournament, we're going to call it BIN or whatever, that's going to help promote the brand. What if they are doing something that just doesn't work for our image for the tournament, I'm not saying we're family friendly. We are, to a degree, family friendly, but we do use foul language. We don't do, there's no obscenities, no porn, no anything like that within our tournaments and everything, but there is adult language, as gamers. We are gamers. We are adult gamers. We're old adult gray gamers. See that right there? So if somebody was to use the BIN brand and they want to push whatever it is, some political ideology, some fetish, some whatever it is, I would have to step in and say no. Because then it tarnishes the image of BIN, and then maybe somebody who wasn't exposed to that product, to the BIN product before, the BIN name before, they see it and like, what is this? Like they're doing something with, indecency, whatever it is. What if that person sees that, and then we have a tournament later on, and they come across our tournament IRL or online. They're like, "Weren't you the guys that sponsored that whole freaky thing that we were doing before?" Right there, the brand is damaged because now they're looking down upon us. You know, they're not liking it, whatever, and that's perfectly, you know, that's because of their ideals. So that's perfectly fine. Everybody has their own ideals, but you need to understand this is why Nintendo's doing that. They have to protect the image, they have to protect their property, their IP, all that stuff. I'm not mad at them for doing that. I'm not mad at them for shutting down Ocarina of Time 2D or Big House. I'm disappointed. Absolutely, I'm disappointed. But I'm not mad at them. You have to protect your stuff, especially if you're going to do something else. You know, there's the whole wishful thinking that Nintendo does Melee on, you know, emulated Melee via the Switch, you know, or like a virtual console sort. I don't think that's going to happen. But what if they were, and they were just like, all right, we need to shut all this other stuff down. They have a vision for what they want to do for their IP, so let them be. We're playing in their world. They could easily just stop. They wouldn't do it, but they could easily stop doing all this stuff, making these games and doing all this stuff. Of course, the company without a business, they wouldn't do it. But look at all, you know, people saying, well, leaving Melee online, you know, and that's not hurting anyone. You're right, it's not hurting anyone, but it's kind of stopping Nintendo from maybe getting more eyes on Ultimate. I don't know. There could be an argument there. There absolutely could be an argument there. Maybe they're getting more eyes on Ultimate from these big house events. But what I think is that it's not a problem. It's not a problem for me personally that they're shutting down stuff. Nintendo has to stay true to themselves. You know, true to their company, true to themselves, the developers, execs, whatever they are. You know, video game company. But now, also, look at this. Look how we react as a community of Smash fans, Nintendo fans. We kind of get mad at them. We beat them up. I mean, look what Sakurai said. Like when he had the Sephiroth. Yes, I said Sephiroth. I'm still gonna say Sephiroth no matter what. Look what happened when he had the Sephiroth debut in his playthrough. He was talking about the frame data. He was like, "Oh, this move comes out on frame 13." He was like, "What am I saying? I'm just a guy who just wanted to make a fun party game."
には前空中攻撃が、攻撃発生13フレーム、後ろ空中攻撃は15フレームとなるんですけど、いやそんなこと言ってちゃいけないですね。このゲーム愉快なパーティーゲームを考えて想定して作っているものなので、そんな細かいことを言うのはまあ大会に出る人ぐらいでいいんじゃないかなと。
Fun party game has escalated into one of the biggest fighting games on the planet, and that's great for us. But it's also like he set out to just do this fun party thing. Now it's such a serious thing. People take Smash so serious and forget about the actual fun that it brings, you know, like the joy and all that. Try playing with items on every now and then. Like, we did a tournament with items on, and, you know, people were like, oh, well, we shouldn't have items on. But people had a blast. It was fun. We still had a bunch of people show up for it. You know, he wanted to make a party game. But people went after, you know, they get on him over stuff. Another case in point, Waluigi is not in Smash Bros., right? So what? So what? He's not a playable character. But what did the community do? They went and threatened Sakurai and his family, him and his wife, and I believe he has kids. I'm not sure, but they went and threatened his family over a character not showing up in Smash Bros. And threatening other Nintendo employees. Like, what are you guys doing? This is a video game. Stop it. Stop it. Get it together.
Stop it. Get some help.
Play the damn game. Stop complaining about your characters on it. There's, what is it, 75 other characters in the game at this point? Maybe it's like 79. I forget the actual number. But because of a character's on it, you're giving death threats on it? Come on. Like, guys, let's wake up here, alright? Nintendo has to take a stand on their IPs. They have to protect their own IPs. Because if they don't take a stand, that is effectively taking a stand, saying just go ahead and do whatever you want. You have to protect your product, your IP, your image at the end of the day. You know, this is why Nintendo has to take stand. Look at all the Mario clones out there. Look at all the Mario, and I'm not talking about the ones that are just like a subtle rip-off, and you know the type of games that they're oh, I'm talking about the blatant rip-offs, like the straight-up blatant rip-offs. Look at those knockoff Game Boys that people are making now, where it's like 500 games, and there's like Mario 13 on there. You know, like it's just ridiculous. Or even look at like a successful game like Flappy Bird. Flappy Bird is dope. I played Flappy Bird to death on my phone. But those assets were straight up Nintendo assets. Granted, they were recreated for the game, but those were straight up Nintendo assets. We all know that. and that dude made a killing off of the game. He made like what, 50,000 a month from that game, and this is off of technically somebody else's work. It's like designers, you know, we have fair use, 10% and all that stuff of somebody's work to include it within ours. But if you're straight up plagiarizing, taking somebody else's work and presenting it as yours, and you're making money off that, that's a problem, you know. Even if you are recreating cover artists in the music industry, they still have to pay the person that they're covering because they're covering their music, you know. So it's a messy situation. It is. It's not the greatest situation, but come on, we're gamers. We can't be mad about stuff like that. Let's get mad about a game we're waiting forever for, and the game is just an absolute bomb. You know what game I'm talking about right now. I'll leave that for you to figure out. Let's focus on other important things. Let's have fun playing the game. And if you see that Nintendo's taking action, there's a reason for it. There is an absolute reason for it, and just respect that. So all we can do is respect one another. And and I know I sound like a complete fool. I'm saying respect the company. It is a company that we all get joy off of. We all get joy off of. How many of us have thousands of hours logged in Smash Brothers? You know, Ultimate today, as of making this video, maybe like 4 or 5 hours ago, I hit 10,000 battles in Ultimate. That is a feat for me. Granted, it doesn't compare to how I used to play Melee. Melee, I had easily like 4,000 or 5,000 hours in that game, maybe even 10,000 hours in that game. But 10,000 battles in Ultimate is an absolute feat for me. Like, I get nothing but joy for it. Yeah, the online could be better. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of other things I want, but I love it how it is. It's fine. Like anything else, it's just an improvement. They're not making the game worse. When they did that, look at the whole patch. And I look, man, I'm a GameCube dude. I use a GameCube controller. When they did that whole patch and it messed up the code, I believe it was the code that they messed up on the GameCube controller. What did they do? Almost like a week later, they fixed it. You know, they're doing things to try to better our enjoyment of their product. And you know, in return, we buy more of their product. You know, we do all this stuff. You know, we buy more systems, we buy more games, we get more people involved, and it's a great thing. It's absolutely a great thing. So what I'm saying is just chill, relax, enjoy the games for what they are. They're video games. Play them, enjoy them, have fun. There's that. Alright. Just take it easy one another. Hopefully I come across you guys in Leaf Smash when I'm playing online, alright? For my maybe 20,000th battle. So for now, I'm gonna say peace. I'm gonna say deuces. I'm gonna say later.